situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. First and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. On first down, here's Breida. Marcus Peters up to make the tackle. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. On second down, a run with Breida. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Here we go. Hey, alert! 21. Hey, Delta!
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th.
12, fellas, here we go. Smooth!
Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. He finds Coleman. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. On first down, Garoppolo. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Jackson on first down. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. On second down, it's Ingram, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. Covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. And this is caught. He hits more. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Just keeping the play alive. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Nick Bosa just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
29 is the Mike. Mike 29. Mike 29. Here we go. 29 is the Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Now Jackson. Steps away to his left. He'll try and run it. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Here we go. Hey, come on. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Throwing on third and long. Jackson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fielded just inside the 30. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, 49ers. A 71-yard punt return. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. Gold with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Well, let's get back to the playoff picture. We talked about the AFC. Let's look at the NFC. That race starting to come into focus. We know most of the teams, Seahawks, 49ers, Saints, and Packers all in, Vikings in good shape. How do you handicap this race? It seems like anyone can beat anyone.
I think you're spot on, because if you were going into the playoffs with these teams that we're going to talk about, who would you make the absolute favorite?
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult, because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Throwing is Jackson. That one complete to Hill. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it a second down.
Everyone.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Here we go, D. Get off the field. Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded at about the 28. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is fielded at the goal line. And they'll have excellent field position to begin this drive as he's all the way up to midfield at the 50.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Bang, 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 bang.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Letting one go deep for Roberts. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They run again with Breida. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 11.
There's Garoppolo to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 21 yards there on 3rd down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And an alley to run. And across the chalk.